Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. I'm Sameh Heracli, and today we're diving into an absolutely crucial pillar of internal auditing and governance. We've made it to day 35 of our journey, and today's focus is the HR audit. Now, if you've been following along with me, you know we specialize in breaking down internal auditing, governance, risk management, and internal controls so you can actually apply them out there in the real world. Today's session, it's going to be incredibly detailed, highly structured, and just packed with practical insights. So grab your notes and let's jump right in.
Okay, take a look at this complete roadmap. Think of this as our master guide for today. Right at the top, it lays it out perfectly. HR Audit is an independent evaluation of HR policies, processes, and practices to ensure effectiveness, efficiency, compliance, and alignment with organizational goals. That right there is the heart of our mission today, setting up rigorous, truly independent oversight over human resources.
Here is exactly how we're breaking this down. We've got 6 sections. 1. Foundations of HR audit. 2. Scope and audit areas. 3. The HR audit process. 4. Risks, controls, and examples. 5. Checklists and common red flags. And 6. Benefits and key takeaways. I'm going to cover every single detail here, step by step.
All right, let's get started with Section 1, Foundations of HR Audit, where we'll understand the definition and objectives.
So under 1 HR audit definition, we see that an HR audit is a systematic and independent review of HR functions, policies, procedures, and practices to ensure they are effective, compliant, and support the organization's objectives. Now, I want to pause on a really critical word here, independent. What does that mean in practice? Well, it means this isn't just the HR manager doing a quick self-check on a slow Friday afternoon. No, this is an objective, third-party evaluation, usually done by an internal audit department that looks at the operations completely free from departmental bias. That independence is literally what guarantees the integrity of the whole review.
Moving to 2, objectives. What are we trying to achieve? We need to ensure compliance, evaluate effectiveness, ensure proper utilization, identify risks, promote fairness, and provide recommendations. Let me give you a real-world example for that identify risks part. An auditor might be digging in and suddenly spot a situation where the exact same person who enters new hires into the HR system is also the person who approves the payroll runs. Guys, that is a massive control weakness. An auditor spots that instantly to prevent potential fraud before it even happens.
Let's move smoothly into Section 2, Scope and Audit Areas. This is all about where the auditor actually focuses their attention.
Under 3, Scope of HR Audit, you'll see we leave no stone unturned. We are looking at HR policies, recruitment, employee records, attendance, payroll, performance, training, benefits, exit management, and compliance. It's so comprehensive because it literally spans the entire employee lifecycle, from the very second a recruitment ad goes live all the way through to their final exit interview, and every single legal compliance hurdle in between.
We break that broad scope down further in 4 HR audit areas. We're talking workforce planning, recruitment and selection, employee records, time and attendance, payroll and compensation, performance management, training, benefits, industrial relations, exit, and HR compliance. To give you a quick operational feel for this, let's zoom in on industrial relations. When an auditor looks at this, they aren't just flipping through dusty paperwork. They are verifying how the company actually manages labor unions, collective bargaining agreements, and active grievance procedures. They have to ensure the company is operating harmoniously and legally within organized labor frameworks.
Okay, Section 3, the HR audit process. Let's talk about the step-by-step execution out in the field.
Under 5, HR audit process, we execute using a strict 5-step methodology. Step 1 is planning, where we understand the structure and define our scope. Step 2 is risk assessment. This is crucial. Say you discover a company's manual overtime approval process is just incredibly vulnerable to manipulation. Well, you'd prioritize that gap right then and there. Step 3 is testing and evaluation. Step 4 is reporting our findings. And finally, Step 5, follow-up. Seriously, if management doesn't actually implement the action plan to fix the problems you found, the whole audit was a waste of time. Follow-up is absolutely essential.
That brings us to Section 4, Risks, Controls, and Examples. This is the constant battle between identifying vulnerabilities and building safeguards.
Let's look at 6, Key Risks in HR. We are constantly hunting for severe vulnerabilities. We're looking for non-compliance, inaccurate records, unauthorized changes, ghost employees, incorrect payroll, misuse of leaves, ineffective performance, inadequate training, high turnover, and data privacy issues.
Let's focus on a really dangerous one: ghost employees. Picture this. A corrupt manager creates a totally fake employee in the HR database, lets payroll process a salary for them every single month, and routes that money straight into their own pocket. It's a massive, hidden drain on company finances, and honestly, a classic red flag auditors look for.
But how do we stop that? We look at 7. Key controls. We rely on documented policies, segregation of duties, authorization matrix, access controls, regular reconciliation, compliance monitoring, periodic audits, employee communication, performance, and data security. Let's tie this back to our ghost employee problem using segregation of duties. If the person with the system access to create an employee profile is technologically blocked from approving the payroll run for that profile, pulling off a ghost employee fraud alone becomes practically impossible. See how that works?
Let's map these controls onto a real process. Under 8, Example Recruitment Process Flow, we see things move chronologically. Manpower requisition, approval, job posting, screening and shortlisting, interview and assessment, down to the final offer and onboarding. A control failure can literally happen at any single transition in this chain.
Because of those risks, our audit focus for recruitment is strictly on authorization, fairness, documentation, background verification, offer approval, and joining formalities. Why background verification, you ask? Well, imagine hiring someone with a documented history of financial fraud straight into your accounting department, just because someone skipped a background check. The damage that could cause represents a catastrophic failure of the entire HR recruitment control environment.
Next, look at 9. Example, payroll process flow. Again, it's chronological. We start with attendance capture, move into payroll processing, then review and approval, followed by salary disbursement, and finally, payslip and records.
Our audit focus for payroll zeroes in on attendance accuracy, salary calculations, approvals, deductions, statutory compliance, and record retention. To put this into perspective, think about a statutory compliance failure. Let's say the payroll software gets misconfigured and accidentally underdeducts income tax for 500 employees. The company could be hit with massive, crippling penalties from the government. The auditor is there to make absolutely sure those formulas are bulletproof. Moving on to Section 5, checklists and common red flags. These are the essential, everyday tools for the auditor.
Take a look at 10, sample checklist. We're checking. HR policies updated, job descriptions defined, recruitment transparent, employee records complete, attendance maintained, payroll accurate, deductions deposited, appraisals, training, and exit clear. An internal auditor physically uses a list just like this. You literally walk through the department, checklist in hand, asking for hard proof. If HR claims recruitment is transparent, you don't just nod, you say, "Great, show me the documentation that proves it." But sometimes, things just jump right out at you before you even finish the checklist. Under 11, common red flags. Look at this highlight. Unauthorized changes in HR master data. This is a glaring, blaring siren. If an auditor notices that employee bank account numbers in the master data are being changed on a Saturday night by a user account that has no business being in there, that is a stark indicator of potential internal fraud. You drop what you're doing and investigate that immediately.
The remaining red flags are just as critical. Frequent adjustments, high overtime, missing records, irregularities in attendance, delay in statutory payments, high turnover, lack of segregation, employees without contracts, and harassment. Take high overtime without proper approval, for example. Operationally, that points to a total systemic breakdown. It could mean deliberate wage theft is happening, or it might just mean management has completely lost control over scheduling. Either way, for sure, it's a massive red flag.
And that brings us to our final part. Section 6, Benefits and Key Takeaways. What is the ultimate value of the HR audit?
Under 12, benefits of HR audit. We see why we put ourselves through all this rigorous testing. It ensures compliance, improves efficiency, reduces risks, ensures accurate records, enhances trust, supports decisions, optimizes cost, and strengthens governance. Think about how an audit specifically optimizes costs. By uncovering a bunch of redundant software subscriptions or pinpointing excessive overtime waste through better workforce planning, the audit literally adds money back to the bottom line. It isn't just some boring compliance exercise, guys. It is a serious value add for the whole organization.
Ultimately, this all leads to 13. Key takeaway. An HR audit ensures your people processes are fair, compliant, and driving sustainable growth. I want you to walk away today with this formula absolutely branded in your mind.
Right people plus right process plus right controls equals strong HR management and organizational success. Align those three variables, and your organization becomes practically unstoppable. Thank you so much for joining me, Same Herakli, for this explainer. Keep that formula in mind, keep testing those controls, but before you go, I want you to ask yourself one question. If an auditor walked into your HR department right this second, would your controls hold up, or would you be their next cautionary tale? Think about it. See you in the next one.